We're talking back about hiring managers a few minutes ago. Give me a hint. What's one of your favorite interview questions?
Well, I like to follow the standard ones, to be blunt about it.
Really?
From the employer perspective, you start off with, tell me about yourself, and watch them hang themselves. And that's normally what happens. Most people are completely unprepared. And what you want to do is notice whether or not someone cares about your circumstances. So I want to parallel this with the job hunter stuff and explain it from that perspective. When I coach a job hunter, I don't wait for them to be asked, tell me about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, as soon as you lower yourself into the chair, or as soon as the interviewer is starting to talk with you, you thank them so much. You thank them for inviting you to have the conversation. And then you immediately continue by saying, Nedalee, I appreciate you making the time, and I saw the position description, but I want to get your take on the role. Could you tell me about the job as you see it and what I can do to help you?
I love that.
And you find out at the beginning of the interview, because often the job description's a little bit different. So from the employer perspective, I want to see if someone's passive or if they have personality. At times, I'm going to wrestle with them. I'm going to intentionally pick an argument because I want to see if they stand their ground or if they're deferential. I love personality. I really do. And what I'd love to do is encourage employers to break out of the playbook. So for me, yes, I start off with, tell me about yourself. But the fastest thing I'm going to right after there is something that gives me an idea of how they measure success, what they're looking for, where they want to be a few years from now. So I can see how this position, this organization can support them in getting there or not. Because I certainly don't want clients of mine to bring people on board and crush them. There are certain people who belong in roles in what I call the box. They are going to be a square peg at their previous employer. We're going to move them to another square peg at the next firm. That's fine. Some people have had their ambition destroyed, and that's fine. But for those that remain ambitious, I want to find out, or encourage employers to find out, where that ambition is and whether there's a possibility that they can be satisfied, where they perceive their rough edges for that next step. Now, there's all the skills stuff. And what I also encourage employers to do, for obvious reasons, is to find objective measures for how to evaluate whether someone has the skills needed to do the job. And this is the big one to me, forget this notion of fit. Fit is one of the easiest ways that employers promote bias in hiring. Because after all, the only thing that happens when there's no objective measure that an employer uses. All they do is they sit there and go, I like this person. Okay, what does that mean? The statistics say that in 3 to 6 months, most employers have buyer's remorse and they want to get rid of the person. So what is that evaluation? What's it done for you? Except cause you to project personal qualities onto this person that they probably don't have. So I encourage employers, forget fit unless you're actually testing for it. And if you test for it, you have to make sure you've tested your own people for it, because that's really how the fit works, is how they complement your existing staff. It's not good enough that they sit opposite you and you think to yourself, they remind me of Nedalee. Terrific. Because you got to remember that job hunter is putting on an act.